Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. In celebration of my 100th video, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful round duo bracelet. Now I used a button for the clasp, but you don't have to. You can use any closure you want. And this is what my bracelet looks like, the clasp part, okay? It's really gorgeous, okay? And I'm going to turn it and show you the rest of it. It is so beautiful. I'm really proud of this design. I worked on it for a while and I just love it. Now, in this bracelet, I have 5 different colors, but if you're not comfortable using that many colors, you don't have to. You can use 2 to 3 colors. It's up to you. But I do try to use as many colors as I can because I want to wear this piece of jewelry with several different colors in my wardrobe. So I try to do at least 3 colors sometimes. So here is my experimental piece that I did when I was designing this bracelet. And in this here I have one color of rounduos, and the color is called Crystal Gold, and I have 2 different colors of sea beads, so you could see how changing the colors can make the bracelet look different. Okay, so when I made this, I did want to complete the bracelet with these colors that I have going on here, but I needed more than 75 rounduos, and there's only 75 in a tube, so you will have to buy 2 tubes to make a bracelet, but you're not going to use all the beads in both tubes. You're going to use more of one color though if you're going to make it like I did here. Now you can play around with the colors of the rounduos a lot. You can have all the same color rounduos in the center, and then have a color like I did here, and then a different color on the edge. So you could do like all gold here in the middle, and then the greens on the sides, and then the Aztec golds on the outer edge. So it's up to you, but you will need at least 2 tubes of the rounduos to make this bracelet. So again, here's what it looks like close up. I don't know if you saw my last bracelet video I did using these rounduo beads, but just in case you didn't see it, I'm going to tell you a little about these beads. Rounduos are 5mm round with 2 holes. So see right there? It's round with 2 holes instead of 1. They are sold in a tube of 75 beads, and they are all different prices depending on the color you want. So the most basic colors are going to be the cheaper colors. The prices start at $4.49 and go up to $8.99. I think that only the gold is $8.99, but that is usually how it goes with metallic beads. They always cost more than the regular color beads. You can get these beads from PotomacBeads.com. I will leave a link for the beads in the description bar below this video, so check down there for the link. Here's the list of materials you will need to make this bracelet. You will need 9 feet of 8-pound fireline, 2 size 10 beading needles, a cup button or a clasp of your choice, 11 seed beads, and all of my seed beads here are preciosa or Nella seed beads. They are Czech seed beads. And you're also going to need rounduos. Now when you go to buy them, you're going to have to buy 2 tubes because 1 tube does not have enough beads. You need at least 2 tubes to make 1 bracelet. Now you can either buy 2 tubes of the same color and do a pattern like I did here where all my rounduos are the same color, or you can buy 2 different colors and do a bracelet like I have here. Now if you want to do the same layout like I did in this bracelet with how I have my 2 different color rounduos alternating in the center, if you really study this pattern here, you can see that I have them alternating in the center, but on the top I have these 2 green, which kind of makes it look like a circle with the gold rounduo in the center. So you can see these circles here, okay? Now if you want to do the same layout like I did in this bracelet, if you want a 7.5-inch bracelet, you will need a total of 83 rounduos. The color that you're going to need more of, which is the green in this bracelet, you will need 51 of those beads. And your second color, which in this bracelet is my Aztec gold, you will need 32 of those beads. Now if you want an 8-inch bracelet, you will need a total of 91 rounduos. You'll need 56 of one color and 35 of your second color. Now, this is the list of materials if any of this was kind of confusing, just look down there in the description bar below this video, and I always put everything in writing so it's easier to see and understand what I'm talking about. So look down there, and I'll also have the link for the roundos down there and the link for the cut buttons. I went ahead and I put my thread onto both of my needles, and I made sure that my tails were even so I don't run out of thread on one side. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the center of my bracelet here. So I'm going to take my needles and I'm going to pick up 3 11-0 seed beads, slide them down, and then I'm going to pick up my button clasp. Now, if you're not using a button, you would do it the way that I've done it in the past with my bracelets. You would pick up like 7 seed beads, and then you would pick up a roundo and go through that. And that would be your loop for your clasp, for your spring ring or your jump ring, whatever you're using. Okay, so I'm using a button here. So I picked up 3 seed beads. I'm picking up my button, and I have to take both of my needles through this button. One needle through each hole, just like this. Putting my needles together, I'm going to bring this button all the way down to the center of my thread, just like this. Now on each side, each needle, I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads. Okay, so I have 5 on this side, 5 on this side, slide that down. Now I'm going to pick up a round duo. Now, in this bracelet here, the color I had the most of was the green, and in this one I want to have more purple. So I'm going to pick up a bronze bead first, and then the purple, and then all of my rings will be purple. So I'm picking up a bronze roundo, and I'm passing my needles through it just like this. Okay, putting my needles together, making sure they're even. Bring this bead down. So now we have this. Okay, now I'm going to take my needles, and on each side I'm going to pick up 3 11-0 seed beads. Okay, slide them down. Now my next roundo is going to be purple. So pick that up and slide it down. Okay, so now we have this. It's pretty easy. You just have to deal with a lot of thread. But once we get done with the center of the bracelet and we move on to embellishing it more, it gets a lot easier. And since we're not working with one needle, we're working with 2, that also makes it easier to work with such a long piece of thread. Okay, so that's what I have now. Again, I'm going to pick up 3 11-0 seed beads on each needle, slide them down, pick up a bronze roundo, and go through it just like this, 1 needle on each side, and bring it down. Okay, again, 3 seed beads on each side, slide them down, pick up the next roundo, which is purple, and go through it just like this, bring it down, and now we have this. Now, there is another way of doing it. You can keep going just like this, picking up 3 seed beads on each side, 3 seed beads each needle, and then going through your round duo. Okay, 3 each side, 3, 3. My next color is bronze, or the gold I mean, and passing through it, okay? You can keep going doing it like this, or you can do it this way. You can stick 1 needle in your mat, and you can pick up 3 11-0 seed beads, your roundo, which my next color is actually purple, 3 again, next roundo, slide this down, 3 again, next roundo, purple, 3 again, next one, gold, 3 again, next color, purple, and you could pick all of these up. Okay, Okay, so I'm just going to show you this here real quick. I'm sliding this down. So now I have this, okay? So I can take the needle I was just working with, stick that in the mat, and I can hold this in place and take my other needle, pick up the 3 seed beads like this, and go through the next one. So I'm exiting out of this one. I'm just going to go through this purple one here. Okay, and my seed beads are going to sit beside my other one. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. I kind of like doing it this way. It seems a little bit faster, but you know, I'm not really sure. I didn't time it. Okay, so it's up to you on how you want to do it. Pick up 3 more, go through the next rounduo, 3 again, and through the next rounduo. Okay, I'm just going to stop here for a minute and show you what I got. So this is what I have so far. So again, you can do both strings at the same time, or you could just pick up a whole bunch of beads on one string, stop and go back and fill in the gaps with the 3 seed beads. Now, to make a 7.5 inch bracelet, you will need 23 of these rounduos in the very center of your bracelet. To get an 8 inch bracelet, you will need 25 rounduos. Okay? So, again, it's up to you which way you want to do it, which way you feel is faster, easier for you. But I'm going to keep going doing this, and once I get all the rounduos I'll show you what to do in my bracelet. I'll show you what to do from there. So keep going, repeating these steps until it looks, you know, like this, but longer. So I kept on going, repeating those same steps over and over until I had this. Okay, this is going to be an 8 inch bracelet. So I have 25 rounduos. And remember I said if you wanted a 7.5 inch bracelet, you will need 23 rounduos. Now the thing is to make our bracelet even on both ends, where, you know, the beginning looks like the end, you need an odd number of rounduos. So 23 rounduos for a 7.5 and 25 for an 8 inch bracelet. Okay, so once you get all this done and it looks like this, you're going to want to check your threads, because one thread might be like a lot longer than the other, especially if you did it the way where you're doing one needle at a time, where you fill up all your beads in one thread and then you go back and you fill in the gaps. So put your needles together, make sure they are even, make sure your tails are even. Okay, pull this out straight, and if one thread is longer than your other thread, what you're going to do is loosen this up. Okay, just like that. Put your finger in this loop right here that's at your button. Okay, pull your needles out straight, pull your arm out straight. Okay, and then this here should adjust where your finger's at in that loop, and then you can bring your button down, and then you can bring all your other beads down. And if you hold this straight up, all your beads will fall down into place. Okay, so once you have your threads even, we are ready to move on. Okay, so now I'm going to make the loop for my button to go through, and I have found that the perfect size loop is 1 1/4 of an inch plus 1 extra seed bead. It's the perfect size. It's not too big, because if we did make the loop too big, our bracelet could fall off. So we need it to be just the perfect size. Okay, so picking all these up, sliding them down all the way down to my bracelet. My thread's twisted here. Okay, so just like this. I'm going to measure this, make sure it's correct. Butt your rounduo right up against your ruler, and you should have 1 1/4 inch. I'll zoom in so you can see better. (1 1/4 inch right there, okay, plus 1 extra seed bead. It makes the perfect loop for our button. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out. Now I'm going to take the needle that I just picked all of these seed beads up with, and I'm going to sew through this round duo and through these 2 seed beads right here, okay? Pull this through, and we should have a loop. Just like this. Now I'm going to take this needle, stick it in my mat. I'm going to go to my other needle, and I'm going to pass through all of these seed beads in this loop. Okay, and pull this thread tight so it's easier to pass. So through all of these, through these here, carefully don't skip any seed beads, all down through the side, and then sew out the round duo and then through these 2 seed beads so it matches the other side that we just did here, okay? So pull that thread out. Okay, I'm going to put my needles together, just like this. I'm going to put my finger in this loop and pull my threads, and if you grab these round duos here, you'll feel it tighten up, okay? So now we are ready to continue on and add the embellishments here on the sides. So now I have to get to the rest of my beads. So right now I have these threads exiting out of these seed beads right here, and I'm just going to take one of my threads, this one here on the bottom, I'm going to stick it in my mat down here out of my way so I don't catch it, and then I'm going to take my other needle, the one here on the top, and I'm going to work with this needle here. I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads in this purple color, and then I'm going to pick up a different color of just 1 seed bead, and then I'm going to pick up 3 again of this purple, okay? So actually it's a total of 7 seed beads, but 1 is a different color in the center. So I'm going to slide this down, pick this up, I'm going to skip over this seed bead, over the round duo, over this seed bead, and I'm going to go through the one in the center. So I'm just going to lift it up with my fingernails and pass through. Okay, so pull this all the way through, just like this. And you might have to pull your other thread tight too, because it tends to loosen up. Okay, so now we have this. Again, I'm going to take the same needle that I just had, and I'm going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead and 2 round duos, my purple, and an 11/0 seed bead. Okay, so 4 beads, just like this. Slide these down. I'm going to take my needle, exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go through this one over here in the center. Okay, just like this. Pull this needle through. Lay this down. Pull both needles tight, and this is what I have. Okay, again with the same needle, I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads, 1 of a different color, and 3 more, so a total of 7. Slide this down. I'm going to take my needle, exiting out of this center seed bead, I'm going to go through this one. Pull that through, and we should have this. Okay, set this back down. I'm going to take the same needle, and I'm going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead and 2 round duos. I'm fixing to call them rondelles. 2 round duos and another seed bead. Okay, so just like this, an 11/0, 2 round duos, and an 11/0. Slide these down, pick this back up, exiting out of this bead here. I'm going to go through the next one. Lift this up in the middle and go through it. Okay, pull this through. I'm going to pull both of my threads tight. And this is what I have. Now because it's kind of loose, because I haven't done anything on this side yet, I'm going to go to this thread. So I'm going to sit this down. I'm going to take my needle that's on the top and I'm going to stick it in my mat up here above my beads, out of the way, so I'm not catching onto it. And I'm going to take this thread down here and I'm going to repeat the same thing I did up there. 3 11/0 seed beads, another 11/0 seed bead in a different color, and then 3 again. Just like this, and slide them down. Now I'm exiting right here. I'm going to go into this center one here. Just like that. I'm going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead and 2 round duos. Slide them down. An 11/0 seed bead, an 11/0 seed bead, 2 round duos, and an 11/0 seed bead. Okay, slide all that down. Exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go through the next one right here. Lay this down. Pull it tight, both threads tight. Okay. Now I'm going to try to keep this flat on my mat because it's actually a little bit easier if I can keep it on my mat, because when I pick it up it kind of flops all around. Okay. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. So this is what I have. Exiting out of that seed bead in the center, I'm going to pick up 3 11/0s, another one, another 11 of a different color, and 3 more. So just like this, 7 seed beads. Slide these down. I'm going to go through the middle one right here. Just like this. Pull this through. And this is what I have. We'll do the same thing over here. An 11/0 seed bead. Repeat this side. 2 round duos. And an 11/0 seed bead. Slide this down. Exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go in through this one. Okay, pull my needle through. Now we should have this. Again, I'm going to pull both of my threads, make sure it's tight, because right here is the part where it will loosen up in the green beads, and you'll have to take it apart and tighten it up. So I want to make sure that it's tight right now before I go any further. Okay, I'm going to take my needle, doesn't matter which, and I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads, another 11/0 seed bead of a different color, and 3 11/0 seed beads again. Okay, so there's my 7. Slide them down my needle, and I have to go through this seed bead here in the center. Through that one, pull it through, just like that. Okay, now I have to do the round duos, so I'm going to do an 11/0, a round duo, another round duo, and an 11/0. Slide these down my needle, and I'm going to go through this seed bead right here in the center, just like that, in the middle, and pull it through. Okay, now I have to do my seed beads again, my 7 seed beads. So pick up 3 of one color, 1 of another, and then 3 of your other color again. Just like this, 7. Slide them down. Exiting out of this seed bead, I'm going to go through the middle one right here. pull that through. I'm going to pick up another 11/0 seed bead and 2 round duos. And an 11/0 seed bead again. Slide this down. I'm going to go through this 11/0 seed bead right here in the middle. Next thing I have to do is seed beads again, so 3 11/0s in my purple, 1 in my bronze, and 3 in my purple. 7 seed beads, slide that down. Exiting out of this seed bead, I'm going to go through this one over here. Okay, pull that through. So what I usually do is I do a couple, you know, rows on each side, like 4 or 5, and then I go back and do the other side, and it's just for tension purposes. I'm trying to make sure that it's the same tightness on both sides so my bracelet lays flat. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'm gonna stop on this thread, put it down here out of my way so I don't catch it. I'm gonna take my other needle and I'm gonna copy this pattern that I did here up here. So seed beads, the roundos, seed beads, roundos, seed beads, all the way to the other side of my bracelet. Okay, we're just repeating these steps. So 3 11/0s, 1 bronze 11/0, and 3 11/0s again of my purple color. So actually it's a total of 7 beads. Slide that down my needle. I'm exiting out of this seed bead right here, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but when I pick it up it's kind of even hard to see. Right there, I'm going to go through this bead, the next center one over here, and pull this through. Okay, just like that. And I'll slide this up a little bit. Okay. Again, I have to pick up my round duos, so I'm going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead, or 3 11/0 seed beads. Actually, no, I'm really confused right now. I just did all my seed beads. I'm going to pick up an 11/0 seed bead, and then 2 round duos, and then an 11/0. Slide these down my needle. Exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go through this one over here in the center. Okay, pull it tight. Now I have to do my seed beads again. 7 seed beads, 3 of one color, 1 of another, and then 3 again of the same color. So 3 purple, 1 bronze, and 3 purple. Slide them down. Exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go through this one over here. Oops, I got stuck. Okay, just like this. I'm going to do 2 more right here so I can match the other side. An 11/0 seed bead, 2 round duos, and an 11/0 seed bead. Slide those beads down. Now I have to take my needle, exiting out of this green seed bead, I have to go through this one over here in the middle. Pull this through. Pull it tight. Okay, this is what it looks like. I'm going to do this one last spot right here. 3 11/0 seed beads, another 11 of a different color, and then 3 of my other color again. So a total of 7. Slide them down. Exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go through this one over here in the middle. Okay, and pull this needle all the way through. Okay, I'm going to stop and make sure both of my needles or my threads are tight. Okay, and they are. So this is what it looks like. So basically, you're going to be repeating these same steps over and over and over till you get all the way over here. And once you do, I'll show you what to do then. So keep going, repeating these steps, and if you have any problems, just rewind the video and that'll help you. So I kept on going, and now I'm all the way over here, and this is what it looks like. So now the next thing I have to do is reinforce this button because I only have one thread going through here, and then I have to reposition my threads and come out this side here and this side so I can add more beads. So I'm going to take one of my needles. First I want to make sure this is tight. Okay, I'm going to take one of my needles, and I need to zoom in so you can see better. I'm exiting right here out of this green seed bead. I'm going to go through this last green seed bead and through my round duo, just like this. Okay, wiggle that through. Then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through all 5 of these 11 seed beads and through the button and through this seed bead right here. You have to do all of these at the same time, because if I just went through, you know, these here, it'd be really hard to pass back through. So try to do all of these at the same time, passing through all of them. Okay, pull my thread all the way through. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through this one in the middle, just the one, and then I'm going to go down. So I have to go down through this bronze 11-0, through my button, and through all of these 11-0 seed beads. Okay, pull this through. Right. Now I'm going to take the same needle and I'm going to go through the round duo here on this side over here where I'm exiting out at. Okay, and also if I can, I'll go through these 11-0s. Okay, and I went through those 2 there. I'm going to pull this all the way through. I'm going to pull this thread here tight because it's loosening up my other thread. Again, I'm going to take the same needle that I've been working with and I'm going to pass through these 3 purple seed beads, just like this. Okay, and pull it tight. Now I'm in position to add more beads, but first I have to do the same thing that I just did to this needle to that needle over there. So I'm going to move this needle out of my way and I'm going to get my other needle. Okay, pull that tight. Alright, I'm going to flip this over since I'm right-handed. I'm exiting out of this bead. I'm going to go through this 11-0 seed bead and through my round duo. Wiggle on through. Pull all my thread through. Take my needle. I'm going to go up through all of these 11-0 seed beads, through my button, and through this 11-0 seed bead at the top. Okay, I have to move it with my finger now to get it to go through. Almost got it. Okay, so I want to go around it. If I grab this middle seed bead, maybe I could push it over. Okay, and I got it. Okay, so through all of these, through the button and through this seed bead that's pointing up right there, through all that, through this one in the middle, and then I'm going to sew down this 11-0 through the button and through all of these 11-0 seed beads right here, these 5 green ones. Okay, so just like this. Pull through, sew down this round duo. And if I can, again through these 2 11-ohs right here. Okay, pull this through. Now I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to go through these 3 purple. Okay, now I'm going to pull a needle on this side, or thread on this side, and the thread on this side. Make sure it's tight, and we are now ready to add more beads on the sides. Okay, so this is what your piece should look like. So now I'm going to add some more seed beads and round duos on this side, and I'm going to work with 1 thread at a time. I'm exiting out right here, and I'm going to pick up 3 11-oh seed beads. I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to pass through, skip over this 11-oh and go through this one, and then I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through a round duo right here through the second hole on this one while I'm going through this one because it's faster doing it this way. Okay, so pull this through, pull it tight, and this is what we have. Now I'm going to put a round duo here, so I'm going to pick up a round duo, and they call these gold, crystal gold, but really they are bronze, and when you put it up to the light, you probably can't see it in my camera, but it actually looks purple on the inside and has this like permanent coating on the outside. So anyways, exiting out of here, I picked up my round duo. I'm going to go through this one, and then I'm going to go through this seed bead right here. Okay? Pull this through, pull it tight, and this is what I have. Exiting out of this seed bead, I'm going to pick up 3 11-ohs, just like this. I'm going to go through this seed bead here, skipping over the bronze, going through this purple one, and then I'm going to go through the next bead right here, my round duo. Okay, so it looks like this, and pull that through. Grab this round duo and pull it tight, and make sure there's no thread showing back here. This will tighten up once we get that round duo in there. This is thread here. Okay, so exiting out of here, picking up a round duo, going through this purple round duo, and then going through this seed bead over here. Okay, just like that. Pull this through, grab it, round duo right here, and pull it tight. Okay, seed beads again, 3 11-ohs. I'm going to go through the seed bead right here, just this one, careful you don't go through the second one, and then I'm going to turn and go through this round duo. Okay, pull the thread through, pull it tight, and this is how it should look. Okay, now I'm going to pick up another round duo. I'm going to put it right here, go through this round duo, go through this 11-oh seed bead right here, and pull your thread through. Pull it tight again. Okay, this is my bracelet's looking like so far. Now exiting out right here, I'm going to pick up 3 11-oh seed beads. Okay, and then I'm going to go through this purple seed bead, skipping over that little bronze one, and then I'm going to go through this round duo and pull my thread through. This is my favorite part, filling in this section right here. It's really fun, and it's a little bit faster than the last part we just did. Okay, so this is what my bracelet looks like so far. All of this is coming together. You can see how wavy this is over here. It's just all dangling, but adding this part here is really pulling our bracelet together. So again, I'm exiting out of this round duo. Make sure you keep your bracelet tight. I'm going to pick up a new one. I'm going to go through this round duo, and then I have to go through this purple seed bead right here. Okay, pull that through. Now I have to pick up 3 11-oh seed beads. Exiting out of here, I'm going to skip over that bronze seed bead, go through this purple one, and then through my round duo. Just like this. Bring this down and pull it tight. Okay, make sure there's no thread showing back here. And if there is thread, like say this thread showing right here, pull this, it'll tighten up, and then pull this one, it'll tighten up, and just keep pulling it this way and it'll tighten it up, okay? So now I'm right here, and again I'm going to pick up another round duo, go through this purple round duo, then I'm going to go through an 11/0 seed bead and pull my needle through. Now I'm right here, I'm going to pick up 3 11/0 seed beads. Okay. Exiting out here, out of this 11/0, I'm going to go through this one, just the one seed bead. And then through this round duo. Okay, and pull this thread tight. Now I am in the middle of my bracelet right now, so I did half of it, and I'm going to stop where I'm at, and I'm going to go to my other thread. Okay, and I'm going to do the same exact thing on that side, because I'm trying to keep my tension about the same on both sides of my bracelet so my bracelet stays flat. Okay, so coming over here, flipping this over because I'm right-handed. Right here I am. I'm going to do the same exact thing I did over here. 3 11/0 seed beads. Skip over this bronze seed bead, go through this purple 11/0, and then through this round duo. Pick up a new round duo, different color. Go through this purple one here, and then through this 11/0 seed bead. Okay. Pull this tight. Pick up 3 11/0s. Skip over this bronze 11/0 and go through this purple one, and then through my round duo. Pull this tight. Make sure there's no loose threads. Okay. And again, I'm right here, so I have to add another round duo. Go through this purple round duo, and then through this seed bead. And then I'm right here, so that I have to add 3 11/0 seed beads. And then I have to go through this seed bead here, and then through this round duo. So it's pretty simple. Keep going, repeating these steps, and since this one's already halfway up here, I'm just going to continue going all the way down this side till I get over here, and I'll stop, and then I'll go back to my other thread, and I'll go all the way down this side. And once I have both of my sides filled in, I'll show you what to do next. And something else I did want to mention, if you're not crazy about how wide this bracelet is, normally I don't wear big bracelets like this, but I really love this bracelet and adore it, and it feels really nice on, so it's not bothering me how big it is. But anyways, if you don't want your bracelet to be that wide, instead of adding these round duos here, you can add 4mm bicones or 4mm rounds. So that's another alternative that you could do if you don't want your bracelet as big. And plus, you won't need as many round duos. So I always love giving you guys alternatives and ideas and things you could do. So just keep on going, repeating these steps until you get all the way over here, and I'll show you what to do next. I kept on going, and I filled in both sides of my bracelet, and I'm all the way down here, and this is what it looks like. It's gorgeous, just the way it is right now. And like I said, if you want, you don't have to put round duos in these little spots right here. You can do 4mm bicones or rounds, and it would make the bracelet more narrower. It wouldn't be so wide. But if I were to leave it like this right now, I would have these little holes visible here on the sides of my bracelet. So since this is my 100th video, I'm gonna go all out, and I need more green. I want more green in it, so I'm gonna fill in the sides here with green seed beads. But before I do that, I have to reposition my needles so they come out in the correct spot so I can add more seed beads. So I'm going to take my needles and I'm going to reposition them, and right now I have a needle here and I have one here. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to pass through these two 11 seed beads and through these green ones. Okay, pull this through. Now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go through this round duo. Now I have to sew through all of these green 11 seed beads right here. Okay, careful not to skip any. Go through these ones. Pull this through. Go through these here and aside. Okay. Now I'm going to take my needle, go down this round duo. Then I'm going to go through these two 11-Os that are green, and then through these purple 11-Os, and then through this bronze one right here, and then through this one here at the very top point, this one. Okay, pull this thread through, pull it good so there's no loose thread, and now I'm in position to add beads with this thread. But before I do that, I have to do the same thing to my other needle. I have to reposition this needle so I could do this side over here. So right now, my needle's right here, my thread. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to pass. I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to pass through these seed beads, through these two purples and through these two greens. And if I can, I'll try to go through this round duo. Let's see if I could do it. Yep, okay. So I'm going to go through all of these. Pull it. Now I'm going to go through all of these 11 seed beads. Okay. As many as I can at one time. Now, I think this is my third thread path through this loop, which is good because it's reinforcing it. It's making it stronger. It's gonna be very durable. It's gonna last longer. And usually when a piece of jewelry breaks, it breaks at the clasp. So it's always very good to reinforce the clasp area of a bracelet or a necklace. Anklets too. So right here I am passing through all these. Okay. Pull this through. Now I have to go through the round duo, through these seed beads here, these two 11-Os that are green, my 3 purple, and through these 2 bronze, just like this, through all of these. Okay, pull the strings tight. Make sure this isn't too tight here. You want to stick your finger in this and loosen this up because we need this to be, you know, flexible for a button to go through. Okay, now I'm ready to add beads on the sides here and fill all of this in. So now I have a thread exiting out here and here, and all I have to do now is pick up 4 11 seed beads and pass through the second hole in this round duo. Then I'm going to pick up 4 again, and I'm going to pass through this 11 seed bead right here. Okay, then exiting out of that, I'm going to pick up 4 11 seed beads, and I'm going to pass through the second hole in my next round duo. Same thing, 4 11-Os, exiting out of this bead, I'm going to go through this 11 seed bead. Okay, pick up 4 11-Os again, exiting out of here, I'm going to go through the second hole in my rounduo here. Picking up 4 again. I'm going to go through this seed bead right here. So this is pretty simple. You're just repeating these steps, filling in all these gaps right here, going from seed bead to rounduo, seed bead to rounduo. And you don't have to do half of this and stop and do the other side. You can do a complete side, and then once you get to the end, after you're done with one side, you can go to your other thread, because everything is as tight as it could be right now in the bracelet, and you're not going to have it loosening up on one side or anything like that, since this is our last thing we're doing here. So again, just pick up 4 seed beads, exiting out of this rounduo. I'm going to go through this 11-0 seed bead, picking up 4 again, going through this rounduo here, 4 again, and through this seed bead. So keep on going, repeating these steps, filling in all these beads here on the sides in between the rounduos and the 11-0 seed bead, and just keep going doing this whole side. And once you get over here, you're gonna go to your other thread over here and do the same exact thing on both sides. So once you have both sides filled in, I'll show you what to do from there. So keep going, repeating these steps. So I kept on going, and I have both sides filled in with my 11-0 seed beads. And now what I have to do is reposition my threads so I could tie my knots. So my thread's right here, and I have another thread over here exiting out of the bronze seed bead there. I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side, on that side. So same thing both sides. I'm going to take my needle, I'm going to go through this seed bead right here. Okay, pull it snug. Then I'm going to go through this seed bead, and if I can, I'll go through this little purple one. Okay? Now I'm going to go through this rounduo. Okay. Through this rounduo. Then through this one, and I'm trying to get to this edge over here so I can tie knots. Then I'm going to go through this purple one and the bronze one, so through these two. Then I'm going to go through this one right here, this point. Okay? So now I made it up to this edge so I could tie my half-inch knots in between the seed beads and the rounduos. Now I'm going to stop and do the other side. I'm going to show you how to do it because that was a little bit confusing. Okay, so again, exiting out of here, I'm going to go through this bronze seed bead. Okay. Then I'm going to go through this bottom one right here, through this purple one, through this rounduo, through this rounduo, through this one, through this purple 11-0 seed bead, and through the bronze. Push it through. Okay, and now through this one right here. And now I'm ready to tie my half-hitch knots alongside here. So if you had any problem with that, just rewind it and watch it again, because I did it twice, one on each side. So now we're ready to tie our half-hitch knots. Now for the half-hitch knots, I'm going to take my needle, exiting out of this seed bead. I'm going to go through these two 11s, right here. Okay, and I'm going to tie my half hitch knot right here. So I'm going to take my needle, go through this hole, make a loop, and go through it twice. I want my knot to fall right here, so I'm gently going to pull it down. Okay, and now I'm going to pull it tight right there. And then I'm going to take my needle and pass through these two 11 seed beads. Pull my knot through those beads. Then I'm going to tie another knot right here. Make a loop and go through it twice. Okay, bring this down just like that. I'm going to take my needle, go through the round duo. I'm going to go through 2 more seed beads, and I'm going to tie another half hitch knot right here. Make a loop, go through it twice. Bring this knot down and pull it tight. Okay. Now I'm right here at these seed beads, so I'm going to take my needle and go through all of them. Those 3, through these 2 right here. And I'm going to tie another knot right here. And I'm just going to keep going, tying as many knots as I can, using up just about all my thread. And once I get done, when I'm running out of thread, I'll just snip the thread and I'm done. And I like to tie as many knots as I can possible. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos before, but I tie as many knots as I can because it makes the bracelet, necklace, ring, whatever you're making, it makes it so much stronger. It makes it durable, it lasts longer, everything. It makes it so much better all the way around. I always tie several knots. So anyways, once you get done tying knots on this side, go to your other needle and do the same exact thing, tie knots on this side too over here. So keep going, tying your knots until you are done. This is it. I hope you enjoyed my 100th video. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and like me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the jewelry you've made from my videos on my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching.